final phase of this Aragon Grand Prix. He drops down in front of his delirious home crowd into turn 14. Through 15 he goes. 2 corners left to end 1,043 days of hurt. Nearly 3 years after his last Sunday victory, Marquez is going to be a MotoGP race winner once again. He's been to the depths of despair. It's the final lap of his home Grand Prix. Over 5 seconds clear at Hawaii Martin.
Martin is 10 seconds clear. Chantra across the line as they're going to find lap across. He's going to walk away from Aragon with a couple of podium finishes. Last time around, he chased the first podium since the opening night of the season, the opening weekend in Qatar. That looks like a little bit too far of a bridge for him to climb now. Marquez, though, with 5 seconds of advantage on Martin, can just enjoy this final lap.
After everything he's been through, all the dark, bleak moments, recovering from the career-threatening right humerus injury. Lights out, and we are racing in MotoGP here in Aragon. And Bagnaia, history does repeat itself for the world champion. He drops back through the field, a light was thrown. The field are all safely through that tricky tight first corner, but it is the dream launch, exactly where he wanted to be. Marquez leads his home Grand Prix in MotorLand.
Deja vu, Ducati's a world champion. Bagnaia is back in around 7th place. He's just ahead of Brad Finger, but he might be about to be overtaken by Brad Finger, who's shooting up behind Bagnaia. So he's 7th. Marquez from Acosta and the young Marquez. Alex Marquez ahead of the championship leader.
Bagnaia could not have imagined how difficult that 3rd place in qualifying would make his sprint and his Grand Prix, particularly at the start. It's been another nightmare for the reigning world champion. Acosta then goes in partnership to Marquez, who reverse goes through. We go for the third time. Bagnaia was dropped back down to 7th place. Marquez sweeps through the high-speed left-hander. He runs his corner 3 turns out. The corner made that thing here in Aragon 6 years ago. Already, he's nearly 4/10 of a second clear of Acosta.
Martin has got through, as you can see now, on Alex Marquez, so he's back into 3rd place. Behind Alex Marquez is the second victory from Ducati's and Frankie Morbidelli. Then it's Oliveira ahead of Bagnaia as the crowd watch their hero. Marquez's fan club is just behind the camera, and Marquez leads past them on this first lap of 23.
As far as the lap of Bagnaia's going to have to worry about as long as his competition now is high in that group. He's going to have niggles in his mind about front tyre temperature and front tyre pressure as well. You can just see him there going out in your picture. And behind Miguel Oliveira's got a good first lap of track house racing. Oh, he started in 8th place. And Oliveira and Oliver Fernandez has gone down.
Oliveira has gone out of the final corner, so after a good start in the sprint, Oliveira is down and out. Top was early on for the green in 2. Then he didn't get on the green. He started from pit lanes a minute behind. Marquez leads by just the 3/10 of a second over. Chantra and Marquez over one round to Oliveira.
Oliveira previously spoke to Simon McLean and talked about how critical, how crucial the front tyre management would be. The front tyre with a full fuel tank did not work out for him and Trackhouse Racing down the bottom of the hill in the turn 16. At the front then, Marquez already trying to streak away here. Jorge Martin knows he's going to have anything from Marquez. He might have to dispense of rookie Acosta very, very quickly. Slightly wider through 7 was Acosta. Side by side we go down into reverse corner. Yeah, Martin sells that. Oh, Acosta leader. They both knew each other. They're both off. Through the reverse corkscrew. Coming out the back of it looks like it will be Acosta.
Marquez plenty of empty tarmac over the front of the field. That's cost them the best part of a second to 93. But it's brought Alex Marquez right into contention in 4th place now. They're up behind Martin. Bagnaia, of course, now 6th after the crash into the first lap of Oliveira, but he's way back. He's a second behind Morbidelli on the second from Ducati.
Martin almost felt obliged to make that aggressive move on the inside of Acosta on the reverse corner. Acosta took a little bit, maybe half an inch wide going through 70. Just opened the door for Martin to see the inside line. He saw the gap, he went for it, but they both made contact. They dropped down through turn 8. They went off to the reverse corner. Martin then using coming back through the corner now underneath him, and he opened his right hand down at turn 15. He heads now up into 2nd place. How much damage was done though by their reverse corkscrew tangle? Marquez over the line we go. 48.899 for Marquez in an astonishing pace. 2 seconds is the advantage. There is nobody else. Well, the next fastest one on circuit is Frankie Morbidelli at 1:49.5. So Marquez blistering early speed.
Yeah, line, dropping downhill through turn number 9. Alex Marquez almost had to check up not to run into the back of the pair of them.
Aggressive move, wasn't it, by Alex Marquez? He felt like he had to do it if he was going to have any hope of going with Marquez. Hope that already looks rather futile, doesn't it, for the field? As Marquez drops down through the reverse corkscrew. You see a turn 10, turn 16 as well, was where Roy Martin said. Around these left handed, where Marquez is just so good. Conqueror said yesterday, he didn't care he's 4 to 5 degrees more lean angle, but not lose the front. It's as long as he just look how quickly Martin gapped Pedro Acosta.
It's not as if he's getting any closer to Marquez. Acosta really struggling. We already saw that moment was before Martin up alongside him. Acosta just got a huge queue of riders up behind him. Alex Marquez, Morbidelli, Bagnaia and Brandfinger are all climbing over the back of the rookie, who's finding the guy top in these early laps.
So we narrow down this long back straight up to 6th gear. Very part of this Aragon circuit with MotoGP bikes do, clicking into talking just shy of 314 kilometres an hour. On board then with Acosta, who's on a real wide line, proper wide sweeping up he goes through that final corner. Message crystal clear to Marquez. Over 2 seconds clear of Roy Martin. Martin's doing a fantastic job. That's why Acosta can't go in. Acosta's being picked up here. Well, he's been picked up by Alex Marquez. Morbidelli briefly through on the run down to the first corner. The Italiano goes a little bit hot on the front end of the Prima Ducati. Acosta sweeps back on through. But Roy Martin at 148.365. He might just be ruining the fact that he didn't get on Marquez's rear tyre quick enough.
Acosta did a 149.9 last time around, slower than everyone behind him, apart from up to Raul Fernandez in 12th place, which is why you can see this queue building up behind him. Morbidelli, having failed to get that move done, didn't lose a place to Bagnaia. Bagnaia's in a bit of a tricky spot there because, of course, he needs to be careful. He doesn't want to throw it down the road or get involved in a collision and lose more points, but Brandfinger up behind him is quite keen to take advantage if Bagnaia is a little hesitant to find a good red ranking.
Well, these pounds for a second after the lights went out in Aragon, straight away you felt like Bagnaia was in down his limitation mode. He got massive wheel spin. Once again, off the grid, did their best, the Aragon officials here last night to clean away that dirty side of the course, but of course there was more torrential heavy overnight rain which dropped a whole load of dirt onto the surface. Here's a replay then of the race start. Just look at the wheel spin. You could see it properly light up underneath Pecco Bagnaia. He was not driving forward, was he, compared to the likes? Look at Acosta, the speed differential as they started moving up from first to second gear. It was like Bagnaia just did not make the start at all. No forward momentum at all.
Quite a short run the first corner, he practically sideways on the way down to the first. But you can see the yellow flag to the back of the pictures. That's clearly for Luca Marini's issue riding back in the pack. You can see on the left of your screen what's going on. And again, Pedro Acosta's struggles are backing the pack up behind him as Acosta does a 49.8. That's a personal best, but it's a second slower than the riders ahead of him.
Yeah, inadvertently being punished for a front row, isn't he? Pecco Bagnaia. Circumstances and the elements overnight conspiring against him as he's trying to find a way through now. He's sandwiched in between Morbidelli and Binder. There is the world champion climbing up now through turn 4. Now in the 5, didn't Cliff Martin have any crash on the 1 into 5 at the end of the start of Q2 yesterday. Marquez and Martin still pretty much on par with each other in terms of lap time, 148, but Marquez now is 2.2 seconds clear of his fellow Spaniard. You do already feel now with 18.5 laps remaining, this is just a test of Marquez's focus, a test of his concentration. It's pretty much just racing himself in the stopwatch now, just to make sure that he just manages that 2.2 second gap back to Martin.
I mean, goes past everyone, just see Martin is trying to make it motor on this lap so far. Martin is losing further ground. I don't think he's more in the position there. It's Binder that he is attacking. Frankie Morbidelli and Pedro Acosta starting to settle into a more competitive pace now on this big lap. He's still around a second behind Alex Marquez. That hasn't really grown since the start of the lap, but what we have seen throughout this rookie season is Pedro Acosta is a particularly difficult rider to pass.
We didn't expect 3 weekends of the points win in favour of Roy Martin, did we? He's 5 points in the drift of Bagnaia at the start of this Aragon Grand Prix. At the moment, he could be 13 points clear. That is some swing in favour of the Spanish rider. We know he's fantastic in Lozano last year's Sprint and Grand Prix double. Marquez is getting on with this as we expected he would do. It's another fastest lap of the grid levels doing through the Michelin tyres. Get up to temperature, 148.285 is now the benchmark time in this Grand Prix on lap 5 of 23. And that's in Marquez WP now for 2.5 seconds over Martin.
Rider back in the half a second while Marquez will roll. Alex Marquez is also in the 48 as he tries to stretch his advantage over his group. Trying to some of the best possible position to join his brother potentially on the podium. Later on, Acosta has now lost his pace a little bit. He's now doing more than 49.0 for Acosta. He's actually now quicker than that group behind him. One bit back nine.
I've seen Conqueror's name toppled down the order, so there's no problem. It was utterly bloody right from 17th to 8th place in the 11th lap sprint yesterday. That's turn 5. That's a big one, isn't it? Fabio Quartararo is down turn 6. Turn 5 actually practically that same place on Friday afternoon. So that turn 5 has not been kind to Quartararo so far this weekend. Alex Aragon 2022, the race winner. Well, mission impossible for him to repeat that for Alex. At the moment, he's finding himself down in 10th place, trying to work his way through. Jack Middle, the back rotating greatly ahead of him. You're going to see now some horsepower, decaying power, unleashed in the right hand of an AMS GP. That comes in from the side, it's not charging by the GP, though, isn't it? Miller looks like he's able to fend him off. 968 metres, that one back straight as well. This battle involving an AMS GP. Jack Miller's in there as well, so Marquez Here comes the beast on the inside at turn 6. He was sliding that rear tyre on back the gap. He loved it. Twitch as well on the exit. Yeah, he rallied hard, compromised all of his exit speed. And Miller just slots back on through. So does Marco Bezzecchi as well. Good check on his teammate Fabio Di Antonio. His first ride returning from that dislocated left shoulder. Sure he was playing a lack of strength and a lack of ability. At the moment, Digia in 11th place, well clear, and tapping at the Garmy on the LCR Honda. He was on course for a season best 12.
And Digia passing back to 30 seconds on the road in 8th place. So Fabio Di Antonio, whose shoulder must be absolutely screaming in pain. It certainly will be in 17 laps time. He's now up into the top 10 back in. Guess finding out just how difficult it is to overtake off the line here in Aragon with all the dirt and dust that's on the racing line. You need to be very precise and down place to ultimately losing one.
Maverick Vinales, what on earth is going on with the Spanish one? Answer the postcode. 26 seconds behind Marc Marquez after 6 laps. He's doing low 152s, Maverick Vinales. You wonder how long Maverick Vinales is going to carry on with this Grand Prix. Mike Curtis still was going so fast. 37 seconds he was behind Marquez at the end of an 11th lap sprint yesterday. Alex Marquez, to his credit, in the 48's first and last lap for his Spanish rider in 3rd place, just breaking away comfortably at full of cost. Now 1.3 seconds clear of the rookie. Simon, down to you.
This gives an idea of what it's like out there, what they're going through right now. When you have a lack of grip, the bike feels like it doesn't want to stop, which is pretty scary. Doesn't want to turn, which is worse. And also, you can't trust the lean angle full because the front's not giving you the big back. You can't trust it. Then it's hard to accelerate. And it feels like the bike does nothing. You don't like this, and then with that same bike, same tyres, you get something with high grip, it does everything wonderfully. So the thing is, some riders figure out how to use this lack of grip or their style, whatever it suits. They figure it out better than others. But one other thing is, something important that Lewis brought up is there's only a few metre wide line of reasonable grip, and outside that it's scary, so it makes it very hard to overtake, and if you make a mistake go on it, scary stuff.
We'll experience some of the on board now with Pecco Bagnaia briefly as Brad Binder stuck in that position. He's not made a single overtake as yet in this Grand Prix. The only position he gained after that shocking start was Miguel Oliveira's first lap crash right here in the braking zone, the hard braking zone for turn 16. Those are not get close enough to run a little bit of a poke on the inside of Bagnight on the brakes and the other back straight.
Conqueror still takes a slightly edging away from this group now. Bagnight needs to get past Morbidelli pretty quickly. He wants to have a look at fourth place, which might be the maximum barring any retirements that Bagnight can expect as he closes in on the brakes. But now he is on corner entry, very nearly touching the tyre back to Morbidelli. He's now turning into a little bit of a rolling roadblock. He's doing a 49.4, which actually matched the Conqueror last time around, but of course the pace of the no longer a great threat.
Martin is having a phenomenal race, isn't he? 2.5 seconds he might be behind Marquez. And Morbidelli goes in hot into 5 on the dirty part of the circuit as well. Twice he nearly flips off that team up Ducati. So it's been mistakes from Oliveira and Morbidelli. The only reason is that the front now probably that guy finds himself up into 5th place. Martin's last lap at 1:48.359 was his personal best lap of this Grand Prix so far. He was 3/10 faster, as you can see on your screen, 3/10 faster than Marquez, who probably just locking down into a bit of time management mode right now, just to make sure that he's got plenty of rubber left before the end of this Grand Prix.
Well, you see throughout the weekend, you mentioned the corners that Marquez is so strong in. The sectors that it comes to are sectors 2 and 4. Sector 2 on this lap, he just took 3/10 of a second out of Jorge Martin. You said he was losing 4/10 in one corner. That corner in question was the left-hander of the downhill reverse corkscrew of turn number 9. And that's a great demonstration of it. Martin looked like he was actually closing in on this lap. He'd taken a take in the first sector. It's all of that more in sector 2 with Marquez stamps on origin back over this race. He's basically, I think he's going to be watching any time Jorge Martin threatens to try and close it down. Martin's got to make it right.
It hasn't so few laps to go, it's just an examination of his focus and his concentration. Not been too many times in his Grand Prix career when he's been in this position and dropped the ball and thrown it all the way back to Alex Marquez. There's the fastest lap sequence. Marquez was aggressive early on lap 2 straight away in the high 1:48 and on lap 9. The lap he's just completed. He chopped that. That was a response, wasn't it, to Martin's PB lap. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Thank you very much, Zayden 93. 1:48.186. Martin, one of only 2 riders able to stay in the 48. Once again, the AMS team leaders with quick start to fade as the fuel load lightens. The beast has got some serious pace. He's doing a 1:48.905. Let's find his way through ahead of Fabio Di Giannantonio in 9.
Damage was done to the back. Saturday morning, that mistake we saw from Morbidelli a lap ago cost him 3 seconds. He did a 1:52.6. He's finding the best second now and under a little bit of pressure from Fabio Di Giannantonio. Cleaning up his tyres a little bit after that mistake from Morbidelli. Bagnight starting to creep ever so slightly towards Pedro Acosta. He's getting a couple of tenths on this lap. He might catch Pedro Acosta, even if he passes him. There's a 2-second gap up to Alex Marquez, so the progress might be hard fought and difficult to achieve anymore for Bagnight from this point.
Well, the Saxon Grand Prix in Germany was the first time since 1997 that 2 brothers were still on the Grand Prix podium. That was 1997 in England, the Aoki brothers. Well, Marquez boys are at it again, aren't they, here in Aragon, because they're on course for another fairy tale first and third as it stands right now. Follow and track the world champion, Bagnight, out of the final corner he goes. He's just set his personal best lap of this Grand Prix. Finally, Bagnight reached up to 48. That was about 3/10 faster than Acosta directly ahead of him. That was Acosta's personal best lap on this Grand Prix. Yet the Spanish rider, the rookie, still can't get himself into 48. He was close, but he senses here on his pinboard that Bagnight is getting on with this.
Shows what Bagnight can do. He's on the fence for the Frankie Morbidelli to come back. You can see once he's given spent the tarmac, he drops into the 48. The rider might need to be a little bit careful. Here is Alex Marquez. We're looking at here. The 18 rating all the swings though, just about to bring you. He lost half a second to Acosta and 8/10 to Pedro Bagnight. Of course, in a race such as this, in track conditions such as this, it can quite easily to a to and fro like that. Once the time goes right, that's going to cost him an awful lot of time. It might cost him 4th place and the picture, by the way.
circuit. Marking about second suffering lanes on. He's back in the high 158s. No tyre management issues, no grip concerns whatsoever for your runaway leader, Marc Marquez. He has not as yet strayed out of the 49. It's been utterly brilliant start to finish victory, it looks like, for the number 93. Simon, back down to you.
I was glad when we saw Pecco go into the medical centre. I'm not surprised. I'll be surprised if he doesn't have an injury. Rolling around under the bike like that. Also, super happy to see his helmet didn't catch the tyre because he was spinning around, because the tyre has so much grip it would stop your helmet as you're spinning around.
Yeah, can't tell us much about Simon. Another great observation. Like the eye. We will feel that this is wrong with the podium here this afternoon. Running right to the front of the Aragon Grand Prix is number 93, Marc Marquez, who is about to start the final lap. 1,043 days without a win in MotoGP, are about to come to a glorious end. 5 kilometres left then for Marc Marquez, and he starts the final lap of his home Grand Prix over 5 seconds clear at Hawaii Martin.
He's 10 seconds clear. Chantra across the line, he's taking the final lap across. He's going to walk away from Aragon with a couple of podium finishes from the turn 10 traffic. There was a couple of times quicker last time around. He's chased the first podium since the opening night of the season, the opening weekend in Qatar. That looks like a little bit too far of a bridge for him to climb now. Marc Marquez, though, with 5 seconds of advantage on Martin, can just enjoy this final lap.
After everything he's been through, all the dark, bleak moments, recovering from the career-threatening right humerus injury suffered in Jerez in 2020. And for the first time in nigh on 3 years, the immediate Romagna Grand Prix back in 2021, Marc Marquez is about to return to the top step of the podium. His former crew chief, Chantra and Marquez there, who was at his side for all of his previous 59 MotoGP victories. Once he's going through the minor stage, I'm sure he's going to be super happy for Marc Marquez, who is now coming into the final phase of this Aragon Grand Prix. He drops down in front of his delirious home crowd into turn 14. Through 15 he goes. 2 corners left to end 1,043 days of hurt. Nearly 3 years after his last Sunday victory, Marc Marquez is going to be a MotoGP race winner once again. He's been to the depths of despair, but through sheer will, through sheer skill, the 31-year-old has risen to the top of the podium once again. One of the greatest comebacks in Grand Prix history is complete here in Aragon. It's win number 86, and none will feel quite as good